What's up, YouTube peeps and barbecue freaks? Thank you guys for joining me today. Today's video, we're gonna do something that I've actually never done before. We are going to cook a chuck roast. I know of all the things I've cooked, that's one thing that I don't think I've ever cooked before. I've got just under 2.5 pound chuck roast. This thing is thick. It's almost 2 inches thick. We're going to season it up with Uncle Steve's thick meat first. And now I'm gonna come back. I've been wanting to try his new SPG, so we're gonna use that as the second layer. Now the idea is to cook this on the Weber kettle. We're gonna kind of, I guess, reverse sear it. We're gonna set it off to the side, let it take on some smoke till it reaches around 115, 120. We'll pull it off, get the fire going a little hotter, and then we're gonna sear it off, kind of like a steak, I guess. I've never done this before. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. It may be a success. It may be a huge failure. I'm gonna try to keep the temperature around 275, 250, 275. And I have no idea how long it's gonna take. Like I said, this thing is pretty thick. So anyway, let's get it out of the package, get it trimmed up just a little bit, get it seasoned up, get it on the Weber kettle. And that's coming up next. All right, so I got the chuck roast here. I'm just gonna touch it up a little bit. This piece here, I'm gonna just slice right off. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of trimming, but I am gonna trim. See how thick this fat is here? I am going to take that fat off. It's the same thing I would do to a steak if I was cooking a steak, like in a competition or something, remove that fat so I get flavor all the way around. Let's see, there's a little bit here, not much, but I want to go ahead and get that off. Just any loose pieces you see that you don't want on there, or you know what, if you don't want to trim it at all, feel free not to trim it. So that's gonna be it. I am actually gonna use some duck fat as a binder. You can use whatever you want. I just happen to have the duck fat by me, so that's what we're gonna do. Actually, I should do that side first. Let's do the bottom side first. I'm gonna come with this Uncle Steve's thick meat. Let's get at the sides. Since this meat is pretty thick, I'm gonna give it a pretty good coating. So there's that. Get this meat side here. And I'm gonna come back with Uncle Steve's SPG. His granules look a little thicker, which I don't mind at all. Now I've been wanting to try this new SPG from Uncle Steve, so Brother Steve, thank you for sending it. I will leave a link below to his website if any of you want to order some of these rubs. He makes some really good rubs, but he also does a lot of great things. You know, every time I've called on him for help, whenever I was doing a fundraiser event or something, he was always there to, you know, jump in, send rubs for us to use without hesitation, no questions asked. So there's that side. So, and he does that for a lot of people, so go support him, show him some love. So you got that thick meat. Now I already have my Weber kettle fired up. I'm running my slow and sear. I do got a couple of hickory chunks in there. So I'm gonna run with some hickory. And that's it. I'm gonna let this sit for a bit. And once that fire gets going really nicely, we'll get the lid on and get it up to temp. And then we'll get this outside and get to cooking. All right, so pit is running about 275 right now. Got the bottom vents all the way open, top vent I'm gonna leave about halfway. Got the chuck roast on, sweated in nicely, so we'll check back probably, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour and see what we're looking like. In fact, I want to move it a little further away. So, and actually, let's turn it this way. So, all right, we'll check back in a bit. All right, so this chuck roast has been going for right at about an hour and a half. What time is it? Actually, about an hour and 45 minutes. We'll see where we're at right now. 130. It's a little higher than I was expecting, so that's pretty even though, 130. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off, and then we're gonna let the coals get really, really hot, and then bring it back, sear it off, and let it rest for a bit, and then see how it turned out. So let me get this off, get this set up, and then I'll pick back up once we sear it up. All right, so I got these coals running fairly hot. Take this chuck roast and just kind of do the flippity flip method. We're gonna let it go for a little bit on this side. I'll flip it back over, go a little long on the other side. And the idea is to try to take to about 145, I reckon, since it's so thick. So we'll see. I'll pick up, I guess, once we're done. Like I said, about every 30 seconds, I'm just gonna keep flipping it over until we get it done. We'll get inside, we'll let it rest, and then cut into it, and hopefully we didn't screw it up. We'll find out. All right, so this chuck roast is done. I temped it from one end to the other, and it was reading from 144 to 148 throughout the entire thing, so fairly even cooking. I did put some butter on here. We're gonna wrap it up, let it rest for a little while, and then we'll cut into it and see how we did. All right, so the chuck roast has been resting for about 25 minutes. We're gonna cut into it, see how we did. Again, I've never cooked this before. I've always thought that they should be cooked like a brisket, but you know, I've seen people do it like a steak. So that's what I decided to do. But I guess we're just gonna cut into it and see how it turned out. I don't know. I mean, it feels good cutting it. I guess the ultimate test will be tasting it. So let's just do that here for now. You can see the inside of that. So there's a slice here. So let's just take this down the middle and then cut this in half, and we'll give it a taste, see how it turned out. All right, so we got a piece here. Let's see how we did. Oh, it's tender. You know, for a piece of meat that doesn't have a lot of fat, it's actually pretty good. I really like the flavor of those two rubs, the Uncle Steve rubs. I've never used them before together. I'm definitely picking up the pepper from those rubs. I think the first ingredient on that SPG was pepper. So I'm really, really liking that. I'm really liking that. You know, for the first time, I don't know, man. I think I thought it turned out all right, right? I don't know. I still prefer brisket or steak, but for a cut that I've never cooked before, I think it's pretty good. So anyway, that's my chuck roast video, and we'll you know, we're gonna eat this for dinner. I hope you guys enjoy it. We will see you on the next one. Again, if you'd like to try out the Uncle Steve shakes, check the link below. He's got a whole line of products that are really, really good. And if you're looking for really good pork rub, like for ribs or pork butt, My absolute favorite is the sweet and spicier. You got to get your hands on that. That stuff is excellent. Anyway, links below. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Until then, we will see you on the next one. Take care.